Sweetheart scams are some of the cruelest frauds. They tug at the heartstrings of lonely victims, and then they tug at their purse strings. In the end, one is broken and the other is empty. Such was the case when St. Louis Postal Inspectors learned that a 71-year-old retired widow had sent her retirement savings to an unknown man she met online. The man claimed to be a general in the U.S. military, living overseas, and solicited money from her on numerous occasions. The victim was instructed to send cash via the U.S. mail to a post office box in St. Louis. Dubbed Tainted Love, Postal Inspectors' investigation led to fraudsters operating in West Africa. The African operatives created numerous fictitious social media and online dating profiles using names and photographs of actual U.S. military service members. Some even included high-ranking generals. Using these fictitious profiles, they contacted U.S. citizens through social media and/or online dating sites in an attempt to gain their trust and affection. The scammers convinced victims to send cash to various U.S. addresses, including the St. Louis P.O. Box. As the investigation deepened, St. Louis Postal Inspectors intercepted $100,000 in cash destined to the same P.O. Box from a different victim. At that point, inspectors identified Bamine Sidbi and Ovuki Ofikoro, also known as Frank, two West African individuals living in St. Louis. The tandem was responsible for receiving the cash packages and then forwarding the money overseas to other co-conspirators. As Ofikoro and Sidbi attempted to flee the country, postal inspectors with FBI agents and U.S. Marshals arrested the suspects without incident. Postal inspectors identified at least 36 victims who lost more than $1.2 million in the scheme associated with the St. Louis P.O. Box. Inspectors identified more than a dozen U.S. service members whose names and photographs were used without their knowledge or consent. Co-conspirators Sidbi and Ofikoro, along with trainees Hassel and Linda Matson, each pled guilty and were sentenced to a combined total of 137 months in prison. Sidbi was ordered deported and Ofikoro had his U.S. citizenship revoked. A four-star general whose name and photographs were utilized by the fraudsters said,
"Abusing another man's honor and the honor of an important American institution in service of your own craven greed is truly worthy of contempt."
Postal inspectors will continue to investigate these scammers, but you can also protect yourself. Before you dive into an online relationship, do your research and ask specific questions about details given in a profile. Don't give up on love, just give up on scammers. For more information on scams, visit USPIS.gov.